Hey guys, so I am home. I got some time to relax, watch the news. It is very sad when you have had family die, guys. I was sharing today in church about my grandmother and how much I did appreciate that my mom, gonna try not to cry again. Gotta clear my throat. That my mom was actually behind a lot of stuff that my grandmother brought for me. And I didn't even know that as a kid, right? I had no idea that it was my mom. So I was sharing some stuff with a lady who was like, "You didn't know that until you were older, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was older and I realized how much my mom did, with my grandmother. So my mother had to take care of not just me, but she had to take care of my grandmother too. So, you don't understand it all, guys. My grandfather, I absolutely adored my grandfather. We used to call him Bum. He used to take us to Weirs Beach. That's why Laconia is important to me. I grew up on the beach. My aunt Brenda, who was my Uncle Bill's wife, his first wife, she had Crystal and BJ, and we used to go to the Weirs Beach and swim like fish. My nickname is like mermaid because I used to swim so much as a kid. And so, if I wasn't there at the beach, I was swimming at a big pool, my great aunt Doris Zipporah's pool over in Hooksett, Zipporah Road, and I would be swimming over there. Or I'd be swimming at my cousin Cindy's in Deerfield, New Hampshire, or I'd be swimming at my husband's family's home. So I am like a mermaid when it comes to water. But my grandfather, Bum, is what we used to call him. He used to call me a bum, but we had a nickname for him, and he used to take us up at the beach at the drive-through, Laconia, New Hampshire. And he used to, sit on his car when the fireworks were going off and be sleeping on the top of his hood. He had 10 kids, 3 jobs, so he was tired, but he always made time for me. It's just amazing with all this stuff going on. And I used to, when he came over, make him coffee, make him peanut butter crackers, milk in his jello. I still remember, stuff about my grandfather. So, so my grandfather and his family, I was brought up with them too, and I loved my grandfather. So remembering today my grandmother, and I cannot tell you when my grandfather's birthday was. We didn't really do anything for him. But I remember him taking me to McDonald's as a kid. We fed the pigeons. I remember him just, always making time for me. And this was a very busy man. So, yeah, and he's buried somewhere in Hooksett. I never went to his grave. I never had anyone tell me where his grave is because, family broke off and everything. But I loved my grandfather very much. And so today is a day for me to remember all the special ways that my grandfather and my grandmother, being her birthday, which was like, I mean, it's got to be like, etched in stone in my heart with her birthday, but um, how much I appreciated what my grandmother did for me and what my mother did for me to have such a high view of my grandmother. I didn't appreciate the stuff she did to my mother, but when I was a kid, that stuff that she did was just for me so appreciated. So, I went to church and I shared a couple things. And, as I work toward a ministry now with my business, I am looking to help more moms develop that mother-daughter relationship after abortion, help them to develop that grandmother relationship. And when you get older, it just means so much more. So thanks for joining me, guys.